Anyone who has experienced romantic love can tell you that falling in love is easy. The hard part, especially in today's world, is staying in love. So many couples drift apart. Distractions, conflicts, miscommunications, and boredom can get in the way of what was once a magical relationship. Staying in love takes work. Relationships need careful and attentive nurturing. So here in Mature Beings we will discuss about the untapped ways of mature love. Before that, make sure to subscribe us for more such content. Falling in love is amazing. There's blushing, butterflies, flirting, and infatuation. We see the world through rose-colored glasses that can blur even our best judgment. As unromantic as it may sound, it's driven by the instinctual drive to continue our species. For the first 2 years of relationship, we go blind in love. All of our senses stop working. Our logical mind blocks itself. We see the other person with an utopian lens as an extreme perfectionist. While everything happens all around, we slowly reveal our original behavior. After around 2 years, however, those relationships based purely on romance will deteriorate. Reality creeps in, and couples start to have to work to meet each other's emotional needs. After a certain point, we have nothing to express our love, as it would be a new normal. You may express affection to your significant other regularly, but do you truly take the time to make sure you're communicating it the way your partner wants to receive it? Even love can sometimes get lost in translation when two partners speak different love languages. That hard rock phase of relationships can be cleared by knowing the exact language to communicate and express your love. What are the 5 love languages? The 5 love languages are 5 different ways of expressing and receiving love. Words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and finally, physical touch. Not everyone communicates love in the same way, and likewise, people have different ways they prefer to receive love. The concept of love languages was developed by Gary Chapman, PhD, in his book The 5 Love Languages: The Secret to Love That Lasts, where he describes these 5 unique styles of communicating love, categories he distilled from his experience in marriage counseling and linguistics. 1. Words of affirmation. People with words of affirmation as a love language value verbal acknowledgments of affection, including frequent I love yous, compliments, words of appreciation, verbal encouragement, and often frequent digital communication like texting and social media engagement. Written and spoken shows of affection matter the most to these people. These expressions make them feel understood and appreciated. 2. Quality time. People whose love language is quality time feel the most adored when their partner actively wants to spend time with them and is always down to hang out. They particularly love when active listening, eye contact, and full presence are prioritized hallmarks in the relationship. This love language is all about giving your undivided attention to that one special person, without the distraction of television, phone screens, or any other outside interference. They have a strong desire to actively spend time with their significant other, having meaningful conversations or sharing recreational activities. 3. Acts of services. If your love language is acts of service, you value when your partner goes out of their way to make your life easier. It's things like bringing you soup when you're sick, making your coffee for you in the morning, or picking up your dry cleaning for you when you've had a busy day at work. This love language is for people who believe that actions speak louder than words. Unlike those who prefer to hear how much they're cared for, people on this list like to be shown how they're appreciated. Doing the smaller and bigger chores to make their lives easier or more comfortable is highly cherished by these folks. 4. Gifts. Gifts is a pretty straightforward love language. You feel loved when people give you visual symbols of love, as Chapman calls it. It's not about the monetary value, but the symbolic thought behind the item. People with this style recognize and value the gift-giving process. The careful reflection, the deliberate choosing of the object to represent the relationship, and the emotional benefits from receiving the present. People whose love language is receiving gifts enjoy being gifted something that is both physical and meaningful. The key is to give meaningful things that matter to them and reflect their values, not necessarily yours. 5. Physical touch. People with physical touch as their love language feel loved when they receive physical signs of affection, including kissing, holding hands, cuddling on the couch, and sex. Physical intimacy and touch can be incredibly affirming and serve as a powerful emotional connector for people with this love language. The roots go back to our childhood, Motomedi notes. Some people only felt deep affection and love by their parents when they were held, kissed, or touched. People who communicate their appreciation through this language, when they consent to it, feel appreciated when they are hugged, kissed, or cuddled. They value the feeling of warmth and comfort that comes with physical touch. The most common love language. Chapman analyzed the results of 10,000 people who took his online quiz in 2010 and found words of affirmation was the most popular language, but by a thin margin. In 2018, dating app Hinge analyzed their app and found the most common love language was quality time, by far. I personally believe it also depends on gender, culture, customs, and values. Certain love languages which are prevalent in the West are much less common in non-Western cultures. For example, in my South Asian culture, directly praising someone is very uncomfortable and often not well received. Instead, praising that person to a third party is more highly valued when they hear about what you said about them through the grapevine. Also, public display of affection between spouses or romantic partners is also a major taboo. Dating with each type of love language. Love languages are a deceptively simple concept, and understanding them can be transformative if you put in the practical work. It invites curiosity, not mind reading, into the relationship. For example, you might love words of affirmation, but your partner places a premium on quality time and touch. As a bid for connection, you might text him sweet nothings all day and think you're great at expressing love. Meanwhile, he might be wondering why you're never interested in spending time cuddling on the couch together at night and may actually be feeling unloved because of that. See how it's easy for disconnection and resentment to enter the picture? By determining our primary and secondary love language preferences, it can be easier to give each other what we innately crave. Here are some tips for dating people with each type of love language. Words of affirmation. Words mean everything, so choose them wisely. Err on the side of positivity, and communications will flourish. When you notice the good things, say it and say it often. Try not to engage in non-constructive criticism. Words have an impact and leave a lasting impression. Quality time. Carve out intentional space in your schedule for time together. It could be as simple as going for a walk together outside, an exciting pandemic activity, and having a good in-depth conversation about your day. Leave the phones at home. Acts of service. Go above and beyond with your actions to show your love. Don't always make it about chores. People have different interpretations of what this love language means to them. So ask them directly what they need. Display vigilance by anticipating how you could make their life easier. Those little acts add up and can make all of the difference. Gifts. They will remember the special occasions, so make sure to mark it on the calendar and honor the day and your partner with a thoughtful gift. Win extra brownie points with a just because gift. It could be as simple as a hand-picked flower from the garden or getting them a cute keychain from a favorite travel destination. Those small gestures can celebrate the relationship in a big way. Touch. Tender caresses and physical affection are everything. This love language is refreshingly straightforward, easy to satisfy, and doesn't involve a lot of planning, exertion, or money. It's as easy as reaching out for connection by squeezing their arm while you're watching a movie or hold their hand while walking with them. Simple. Final words. Love languages are a useful tool to improve how we communicate and express ourselves to each other, but they shouldn't be the be-all and end-all solution for happiness. Instead, it should function as a starting point that sets couples on a journey to meet each other in a more profound way and self-regulate better. But the work shouldn't stop there. Always make a new way to express your love. Comment out what is your love language and let us know if you have any better ways to be romantic. Subscribe to our channel for more such informative videos and share it with your friends and family. And if you found valuable insights in this video, then raise your finger and smash that like icon. YouTube's algorithm will handle the rest of the process. We will meet you in another episode of Mature Beings. Until then, work hard.